Hi, team. This is George. Just wanted to welcome everybody to class. I really look forward to all of our discussions and working together over the next 6 weeks. So, I want to jump in with our first quick video on how to navigate and how to kind of get started in class. You're probably fairly familiar with the online forum, but whether you are or aren't, I'm just going to kind of walk it through, and you may gather a grain of knowledge that's helpful. Um, so get started by hitting the old get started button. There's a quick welcome. It'll give a quick overview of our course, talks about active participation. I'll be discussing that in just a minute. There's me, little blurb about me. There's our syllabus, the schedule, and then the discussion rubric. I believe I have the discussion rubric open already. I do. Let's talk about discussions now. Uh, Timeliness and quantity. So the original post, you have to have one original post and three responses to your peer responses over the period of the week. We can't have it just chunked on one day, 1 or 2 days. We want it throughout the week. So that's the timeliness and the quantity. The responsiveness, if we want to make sure that readings are incorporated meaningfully. So in other words, it's not just you can say, your experiences and everything else, but we want to tie it into the text or outside articles, things like that. So you show a deeper understanding of the situation, so how it correlates with everything. And then ability of postings to move the discussion forward. You can come up here and look directly at the overview, and that is exactly how you do that. Provide concrete examples, describe possible consequences, challenges, all those sort of things. Posing a clarifying question that furthers the discussion. And also, it's okay to disagree. Nothing's wrong with disagreeing. Uh, just the way we do it, I've never had an issue in any class. We just do it uh, politely and respectfully. And that's the way our scholarship grows, because if we all agree on everything, then somebody's not thinking. So if we all agree, somebody's not thinking. That's just the way that one is, because that's the nature of human performance and everything else. So I wanted to look. So for our discussions, we'll just click discussion. Ask a peer, ask the instructor. So I encourage, if there's a question here that's posted, I encourage everyone to go in and answer that, because that's how we learn from each other's experiences as well. So your input for those questions are, they're not required, but they certainly are helpful, and they help us grow as a class as well. And then we have our additional readings on HPT and the tool. So come across anything interesting, tool reading, whatever it may be, post it right in here. It's a great place for it to be. We have our easygoing cafe, so we want that. If you have something to discuss that's not related to the course, feel free to talk about it in here. Now, discussion one, unsatisfactory performance outcomes. You're simply going to click that, and it's going to take you. You're going to hit create thread, title it however you like. You can be as creative as you want, and then type in your response. So I am going to cancel that, of course. And so once you've hit get started, you understand all the discussions now. We're going to week one. This gives us an overview, tells us all of our readings, recommended and required. Course blog. The course blog is where we're going to post our initial discussions, and we have our discussion board, so it tells us here. This week, you also have to do your statement of program commitment. So remember that you have to click this and just follow the directions, submit it, because that is a requirement for a course. But up front, let's go to our course blog, because this is where we're going to have our uh, introduction, and we're also going to post goals and expectations. Now, any of these hyperlinks, you can click these and it gives you much better instructions. So as you do that, they'll come up, and just follow the instructions and post here. The way you post is create a blog entry. I've already done one for my introduction. So notice when I'm here, it doesn't show anybody else. So one thing that we found on these blogs is some people forget that they have to press here. Usually you think there might be a list of names, but as people start posting, click, you'll see the list fill up, and then you could pick the different people to talk to, say hello with, and everything else. And to do that, all you have to do is So here's mine. So let's say you picked up mine. You can just say George's hello and welcome. Oh, let me see what George has to say. Here you go. I chose to do a quick little video with just a statement, and it worked out well. So you can write video, post pictures, whatever you like for your introduction. Get as creative as you would like to do and you're comfortable with. So that is our blogs. Now in week 1, we also had our discussion board. So in discussion 1, and you already know how to get to that, you simply go to discussions and discussion 1 right here. And then we already know that you can just hit create thread, and then then add your subject line and go ahead and put your response in. My suggestion, what I do is I write my responses in Microsoft Word. Then once I've edited, got rid of all the red and blue underline marks, I copy and paste it into the discussion thread. For the most part, when I'm doing an initial post, that's what I do. When I'm responding to peers, I go ahead and write it in there, unless it's something of particular interest or angst that I'm writing about. So that is our entire week 1. So if you're interested, go to our course readings. I'm sorry, I said course readings. Library course guide. You can get multiple of the readings from each week through here. I'm not certain why it's not coming up. There we go. Just was pressed the wrong spot. And EDCI528. All of our books are here except for the one, our primary book, Training Ain't Performance. Can be found right here. So that's a fantastic resource. And then one last thing about our wikis, you will be looking at a wiki for in week 2. I'll have more about that towards closer to the end of week 1. I'll explain all of that. And then real quick, just the assignments. We're going to do a performance analysis, and we're going to do design and develop HPT solution evaluation plan. So think of this almost like a case study, if you will. So we'll get deeper into that. I'll have a video specifically for assignment 1 and assignment 2 as well. But if you want to get a jump on it, there's right here is your description of the assignment and the rubric, recommendations for creating your own case study, and then all these optional cases here. So if you can't find something, think of something for a case study, they have you can choose from these options here. So I hope this was helpful and meaningful, and I look forward to working with everyone. So have a great week.